My name is Lee Thomason, and I graduated from Christian County High School and then went on to community college and graduated from there and transferred to Western Kentucky University. While at Western, I served in the ROTC department, went on active duty for 4 years, and then from there I left active duty and went into manufacturing and then moved back here about 15 years ago. I was a business major at Western, and then while on active duty I went on and got my MBA. As an Army officer, I've served as in the Armor as tank platoon leader, executive officer, and also as a company commander. Our company, Facility Service and Management, is a facility management and maintenance and engineering company with emphasis on DoD facilities, mainly in hospitals, research centers, public works. We provide facility maintenance on all the infrastructure of government buildings, federal buildings, and even public buildings. We provide HVAC services as an example, all the electrical services in there, a lot of digital controls, fire protections, elevators, water treatment, whatever it takes to keep a building maintained. Most of our employees are already in place when we take over a contract, but as the workforce begins to age, we're having to recruit through local recruiters or local labor providers, service providers. And it's becoming increasingly more and more difficult to find labor. We have jobs all the way from Alaska down through California, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, all through the Southeast, all the way up in the Northeast, and we have the same problem. We have an aging workforce with nobody to take their place. And these are extremely well-paid jobs. You can start out as a general laborer in most cases somewhere around $20 an hour, and as a skilled laborer, as an HVAC technician or electronics technician, fire technician, electrician, you can make as much as $30 to $35 an hour depending on what part of the country you're in, along with your full paid benefits. So you're looking at coming out making probably $60,000 to $70,000 as a technician. And it does not require a college education to do that.
Or college debt.
Or college debt. One learns, there's several ways. One is through on-the-job training. Others are through formal technical school training. And I would say another is through vocational schools. There are instances where we take young folks that have the right attitude, that are positive, good work ethic, and we'll train them. We'll train them to what we want, especially in some of the specialty trades, such as fire protection. You know, some of those trades you don't learn just coming out of a vocational school. You learn it on the job with already licensed, trained technicians. Some of the licensing that may be involved is journeyman type licensing. Well, they're not really licensing, they're just certifications. And we'll go back to the fire protection. Most of those folks are taking tests where they're passing state exams or state licensing exams. And all it is testing their knowledge on codes and compliance and how to fix and maintain and service the equipment. A lot of the ways that the folks learn is either online, or they can learn on the job, or they learn in the classroom. In most cases, they're doing all three. Each job has its own time frame as to when they recognize a certain level of certification. It could be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It depends on the trade, and it also depends on what the state requirements are. Each state is different. Some states recognize journeymen. Some states want actual state licensing. And the more technical the trade is, the more stringent the licensing are, especially when you're dealing with life safety and those types of things in these buildings. For a high school student trying to figure out where they want to go and how to get there, I would say that the guidance counselors are good. I would talk to technical schools to see what kind of opportunities are out there, and just look at what's in the want ads and the type of jobs that are being advertised, and go talk to those industries that are advertising and ask them what the requirements are and what they need to do. You know, you'd be surprised how many companies will say, well, listen, we'll train you. If you got a good work ethic and you want a job, we'll put you to work and we'll train you and you will learn. You know, a lot of my managers today that are across the United States are not college-educated managers. A lot of them work their way up, and some of them are high-level operational managers. So it's not necessary that you have a 4-year degree in order to operate efficiently and make a good salary and living and comfortable living. Work ethic in our company, in our line of business, is extremely critical. Some of the facilities that we work in are highly technical. Some of them are hospitals, some of them are research labs. So they have occupants and patients, and so I've been told a long time ago, I was taught that maintenance in a hospital begins in the mech rooms and the basements and all the other workings inside that facility, and that's where patient safety starts. So it's highly critical that you have a good work ethic, you don't shortchange, you don't shortcut, you do the best you can, and you work hard. Working for the government has its own set of rules that are different in the federal government than they are in a commercial setting. We require drug-free workplace. We require no felonies based on our contracts that we have. So you have to have a clean record and be a clean individual in order to work in some of these federal contracts. And some of the contracts we have, you actually go through background checks, an extensive interview process in order to even work in the facility. And it's not just a matter of being drug-free or no arrest. It's also personality traits that they're looking for. If you think about it, some of the labs that we work in, they work with some pretty scary stuff, and they have to trust the individuals that come in and out of those labs that they're not going to do something with what they're seeing. Some of the jobs that we do have and contracts we have require higher security level clearances, along with the background checks that I've previously discussed. There are some jobs out there that require secret levels. There's some that just require just a standard background check. So as far as doing background checks, I would be very aware of social media and how you post things and the way you post things. We don't necessarily go back and look at that when we're interviewing, but it could have a detrimental impact on some of the facilities that we work in if they look at that kind of media and look at that kind of background. So I'd be extremely careful, because it's a permanent record. It's never going to go away of what you post on any type of social media. My advice to students that are looking to graduate is that college is not for everybody, and it's not the benchmark of success is having a 4-year degree. In fact, it's just in most cases, it's just the opposite of that, especially in the fields that I work in and my company provides services in. We need young people, energetic, that are willing to learn and to get into the trades of maintaining. These are very highly sophisticated buildings today, and we need young, smart folks that want to get into this. And keep in mind, usually technicians, it's a job that you go in, you clock in, you put your tool belt on, go do your job, you clock back out, and you're done for the day. And some of the management roles, it's 24/7. You never stop. And for a college degree, having that much debt, it's not worth it, because it's not there. The labor pool has all the qualified people have been employed now. And so we don't have a labor pool to pick from and to use as a resource to continue the growth and to maintain what we're doing. In fact, we're launching a new business now. We can't find the labor. Labor is limiting us as far as growing that new business because there's nobody in it. Another good resource that we tap into for labor is through the military. A lot of folks, young folks getting out of the military have come out of there with a skill that we look for. One is the discipline, and two, depending on what branch of service you go into, some branches do a better job than others of teaching you skills that are translated or transferable to the civilian world. We have a lot of HVAC technicians, electricians, equipment repair technicians that learn their trade in the military. I highly recommend that as an avenue to learn and to grow.